to Channel 21 News. This is Rachel Price interviewing President Donald Trump. Welcome, Donald.
Thank you.
So the first question I have for you today is, what is your viewpoint on ISIS, and how do you plan on resolving this issue?
I say that you can defeat ISIS by taking their wealth. Once you go over and take the oil, they have nothing. You bomb the hell out of them, and then you surround it, and then you go in, and you let Mobil go in, and you let our great oil companies go in. Once you take that oil, they have nothing left. I would hit them so hard your head would spin.
Okay, me personally, I don't believe that violence is the answer. I think we should do the safest way to resolve this issue, but it's definitely something that needs to be resolved. Okay, the next topic we're going to have is, let's see how you feel about the immigration from Mexico. I understand that you plan on building a wall, and how you feel about Mexicans coming into our country, and I just want to know about how you feel about that.
I understand that immigration from Mexico is a very important topic in residency, but we've been badly hurt by Mexico, both on the border and with taking all of our jobs, or a big percentage of our jobs.
Okay. Personally, I feel about immigration from Mexico. I think that as long as they're not hurting anything, I feel like they should be able to come in and do whatever. If they come here and find a better life, then I think that's what they need to do. And I feel like if Americans are getting offended by Mexicans stealing American jobs, then Americans need to try harder, or work more, or do the work to be able to do the jobs that the Mexicans are taking. That's just how I feel. And then our last topic today is immigration suspension from the 7 identified nations. And this has been a hot topic lately because you recently have done something to, let's just talk about what you've done recently.
I've recently banned nations of 7 Muslim majority countries from entering the U.S. for at least the next 90 days by executive order. I've also stopped the admission of all refugees to the U.S. for 4 months. I have to step up to my duty to protect the nation from foreign terrorists entering into the United States. Many foreign-born individuals have been convicted or implicated in terrorism-related crimes since the 9/11 attacks. This order is not intended to create any right procedural, enforceable law or inequity by any party against the United States, its departments, agencies, or entities, its officers, employees, or agents, or any other person.
I see where you're coming from. I feel that just because I feel like this topic is very stereotypical, and I feel like all Muslims should not be accused of terrorism. I understand the statistics behind it about the percentages of Muslims with terrorist threats or action, but that's how I feel personally. And this concludes our interview with President Donald Trump. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Mr. Trump. So this is Rachel Price signing off. Hello, this is Rachel Price, and I'm asking questions to residents of Huntington, Pennsylvania. And our first citizen is
Max Prosser.
Okay, and I'm going to ask you 3 questions, and you just tell me your honest opinion. All right, one of the first political questions is, what is your viewpoint on ISIS?
It's a really bad problem that we have over the Middle East, and I really think that the U.S. military forces need to do something to stop it very soon before things start to happen on our soil.
It's a very good view. The next very hot topic is the immigration from Mexico and all the stories about building the wall and Trump's ideas. How do you feel about Mexican immigration?
Honestly, the U.S. has been like kind of a safe line for Mexican people for a very long time. I don't really agree with the fact that he's trying to put up a wall, just because I think the U.S. is kind of a place in the world that everyone can kind of come to be free, but that's just my opinion. The immigration is kind of hurting the job market, but I guess we'll have to see how it turns out in the end.
Okay. And our last question is, still talking about immigration, how do you feel about the immigration suspension from the 7 identified nations? All right, so our last question then is still on immigration. Let's talk about your viewpoint on the immigration suspension from the 7 identified nations.
Honestly, the amount of terrorist attacks that have happened around the world recently is very, very troubling, but I do not think that the ban is what we need to do. I think we need to try to figure out things in a better way other than just making people not be able to come into the country.
Thanks, Max, for your viewpoints on those popular political topics. Hello. Hello, we're back with Rachel Price, and I have another Huntington resident here, and her name is
Taylor Patterson.
Okay, Taylor, I'm going to ask you a few popular political questions here. The first one I have is, what is your viewpoint on ISIS?
Well, I think that we need to stop ISIS because it's becoming a really big deal and a lot of people are getting hurt. But I think we need to do it in a way that's safe, so we aren't risking our people trying to stop them.
Yeah. Okay, and the next topic we have is immigration from Mexico. So, again, this is a really hot topic with our new presidency with Trump. So he believes about getting a border for Mexico, and I was wondering your opinion on that.
In my opinion, I don't think we need the wall because there's no need for it, because they're coming here to better themselves and make a future for themselves, but Trump's not allowing that, which is wrong, because we should be all together and we shouldn't be trying to separate between any of us.
And still in immigration, how do you feel about the immigration suspension from the 7 unidentified nations?
I don't agree with that either, because there are some U.S. citizens that left to go visit other places, and then now they're not even allowed back into the United States because of this whole ban. And yet again, I don't think it's necessary at all, because, like I said before, people are coming here to try to better themselves, and Trump's just not allowing it.
Thank you, Taylor. You heard it here, guys. We'll be back with Hi, we're back. It's Rachel Price here interviewing Huntington residents, and we have another one here. What's your name?
Preston Fisher.
Preston Fisher. I'm going to ask you a couple popular political questions.
Okay.
Okay. The first one is, what is your viewpoint on ISIS?
My viewpoint on ISIS is the fact that we need to stop ISIS, but we need to do it in a way that economically is good for the U.S. You know what I'm saying? That way none of our troops have to risk their lives anymore for ISIS. So we need to do this in a way that we can do it in a way that everything is getting handled, no one has to lose their life, and we just do it quick. Because ISIS has become a big part of the United States, recruiting people from the United States, going over, stopping it's been a big deal, so yeah.
Yeah. Well, the second question is about immigration from Mexicans into the U.S. And we know we've heard a lot about building a wall or this being a huge issue in the U.S. So how do you feel personally about Mexican immigration?
First of all, this is the United States. Everyone's welcome here. This wall is just ridiculous, because then he wants us as taxpayers to pay for this wall. I'm not paying for a wall that I don't want, nor do I feel that is needed. Mexicans leave Mexico to come to the United States to get a better life. So we should encourage that. They're not coming over here like, oh, well, let me steal your job. So I feel like this whole wall and not allowing people into the U.S., that's ridiculous. Ridiculous.
I'm glad you spoke your opinion. The last question is, how do you feel about the immigration suspension from the 7 unidentified nations?
I honestly think that it is also ridiculous, because everyone thinks that every Muslim is a terrorist. Not every Muslim is a terrorist. You're just putting them in the group.
So being that stereotypical.
You're stereotypical. That's like saying, well, all Asians are good at math and all, African American eat chicken and stuff. That's not right. You're stereotyping these people because of what their beliefs are. I'm not saying, oh, if I was a Muslim, I'm like, oh, well, you're a Christian, we'll come over, you know what I'm saying? I'm not like, no, you can't come over because you believe in this and believe in that, you know what I'm saying? Everyone is entitled to their position and believe what they want to believe, so everyone's welcome here. And for this whole, how Trump wanted to put this ban on the United States and not allow people into the United States, it's wrong. If anybody should not be allowed in the U.S., it should be him.
Thank you, and thank you, America, for watching this show of the interview of Huntington residents, and we'll be back with more. Excuse me, sir. Would you like to answer a few questions I have?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, thanks. So everybody, this is Rachel Price back, and I am now talking to
Noah.
Noah. And Noah, I have 3 questions for you to answer, okay? You just tell me your honest opinion on how you feel about them, okay?
Okay.
Alright, so the first question is, how do you feel about ISIS? What is your viewpoint on them?
I hate them.
You hate
And I think we should bomb them. I think we should send troops in there and kill them all.
Okay, so you feel that violence will solve that
Yep.
issue? Okay. Alright, so the next question for you, Noah, is how do you feel about Mexican immigration?
I think as long as they're legal, they're fine. If they're illegal, get them out of here.
Okay.
We don't want them.
That's fair, okay. The last question we have for you today is, how do you feel about immigration suspension from 7 identified nations.
Well, with all the terrorism going on and all the bombings and shootings, I think for now it's a fine idea.
Okay, so guess we'll keep with that. Thanks a lot, Noah. Sorry for disturbing you. Have a good rest of your evening. All right,
problem.
thank you, everybody. This is Rachel Price signing out. Welcome back. This is Rachel Price, and I have another Huntington resident here whose name is
Young Watts.
Young Watts. Okay, and we just got a dirty look from down that way. Anyway, we have the same popular political questions. And the first question I'm going to ask you, Young Watts, is what is your viewpoint on ISIS?
You know, beautiful.
Talk loud,
They're
loud.
they're bad, and as beautiful as you, I don't want them in this country. They're just so bad. I want to protect you and all that.
Okay, thank you. And so we'll just slide on to the next topic here. How do you feel about Mexican immigration?
They can come in this country. You know, yeah, they can come in this country. I don't care.
That's how you honestly feel.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, they let us come to their country. Why can't they come to ours?
Okay, good viewpoint there. All right. Okay. So let's talk about the immigration suspension from 7 identified nations. How do you feel about that?
Bad. I don't want it to happen.
So you think that all Muslims are terrorists and they shouldn't come in? And
Yeah, because I don't want things to happen to you, beautiful.
okay, thank you, Young Watson. Thank you. Welcome back. This is Rachel Price, and I'm going to now interview
Greta, Sarah.
Greta Sarah. Okay, thank you, Greta. And I just have 3 questions to ask you. The first one is, how do you feel about ISIS?
It's not a good thing. Yeah, they need to stay where they're at, I think.
Yeah, a lot of people feel that way. And the next question I have for you is, how do you feel about immigration from Mexico?
Build the wall.
You're good with the
Definitely.
wall.
Yep. build the
Donald
wall.
Trump supporter. Okay.
Definitely.
All right. She's good with the wall. And the last question we have is immigration suspension from 7 identified nations.
Yeah, for now, I think that everybody needs to be in their place before they make the decision on what they're going to do. I mean, it's a lot bigger than both of us, so I think they'll make the right decision.
All right. Thank you, Greta.
Sure,
That's
not a
everything for
problem.
today. Thank you, everybody. Hi, we're back, and it's Rachel Price, and I'm another PA Huntington resident here, and your name is?
Julie Norris.
Julie Norris. I have 3 questions for you. The first question is, what is your viewpoint on ISIS?
What about ISIS?
How do you feel about, do you feel like we should be taking action, or how do you feel about them coming into the U.S. or causing any problems?
I feel like they are a threat. I'm just not quite sure what the answer is. But it's very concerning that there are so many of them in the United States already.
Do you feel like us taking action by sending troops into where they are is going to solve anything?
I don't know.
Okay, we'll skip to the next question. How do you feel about Mexican immigration or the wall that Trump plans on building in Mexico, on the Mexican border?
I don't really agree with it. I think it's ridiculous to spend billions of dollars on a wall that's not going to work.
So you don't believe that that will work?
I don't.
Okay. Then the last question I have for you is your opinions on the immigration suspension from 7 identified nations.
I realize they've done it before, the suspension, but there's been an investigation and they've looked into it, and none of the countries that he has banned have any ties to terrorism whatsoever. So.
Okay, well, thank you, Jolie. It's a pleasure.
Hello, it's Max Foster from Channel 21 News, and today we're going to be doing our last interview with a Huntington citizen. Today we have
Pam Prosser
here, and she's going to be answering 3 questions I have for her. The first question is, what is your opinion on ISIS and the entire situation that's going on there?
ISIS is terrifying to me as an American citizen, and seeing the damage that the terror that ISIS has done across our world, it's terrifying to me.
Well said, well said. The second question is about Mexican immigration, the entire situation with the wall and Mexico as a whole. What's your opinion on that?
Well, In many ways, I think that it's not a bad idea to have some more controls over the immigration into our country, because I do believe that there are some folks that are in our country that come across the borders that are not upright citizens. I do believe that something's happening there.
It's fine.
Okay. I do believe that it is good to protect our country and our citizens.
Fair enough. The last question is about the 7 identified nations in the Middle East. What's your opinion on that?
My understanding is that the 7 identified countries. My understanding is that the 7 identified countries were identified prior to this administration as high-risk areas that would cause trouble to our country, and a travel ban on those. I don't object to that. I do believe that our American people need to understand that I think what's talking about is a travel ban to try to keep terrorists out, not anything about religion or any other criteria. I think it's just basically keep bad people out of coming into our country.
Okay, well said. Thank you for answering the questions. I really appreciate it.
You're most welcome.
Signing out.
Bye.